Probably not. I should probably... I should probably get the camera ready. There we go. Let me pants up. There we go. Yeah, I should get my tablet ready. And give this a proper title. Will it let me do that now? No. It says I'm live, I'll have to title it afterwards. Oh well. Oh well, there we go. So, yeah. But I'm only going to be briefly live today. I thought I'd do a very quick live stream today, just because I have a little bit of free time and that, because I thought I'd do what I normally do and give my overall thoughts, like afterwards, if there was anything I found after the B&M sets. One thing I did find out is trying to get these attachments to basically go completely straight is near impossible. This one is still bending, and that, despite after 2 attempts of sticking it in boiling water, this one actually, you know what, this one worked quite well. It did stay remarkably straight, and actually, after sticking it in the boiling water, it seems to have hardened up, actually. Something about it, I don't know why. It doesn't seem quite as bendy as it was before, thankfully. So, yeah, actually doing the boiling water trick on this one did work. And same thing can happen to the other one. This one does still have a wobbly dome light, though, this dome light here. Because it wasn't glued in properly. Well, I say it wasn't glued in properly. That dome light wasn't glued in at all. So, yeah. But I've noticed, though, there seems to be, like, way more of these, like, while I was searching for them, Daleks X and that seem to be less of them popping up. It seems to be the other way around now, actually. And I'd say definitely the more popular set out of the two of them this time around is definitely the TARDIS set, which I say set, it's not a set, it's one thing. But yeah, the 15th Doctor TARDIS does seem to be the more popular thing. Though, I would have thought by this point most B&Ms would have got them, but they haven't. Not even all the B&Ms in my area have them. Yeah, which is a bit of an odd thing, actually. Yeah, a bit of a... Because a friend of me, not a friend of me, a friend of mine, there we go. A friend of mine actually asked me to pick him one up because basically they're not showing up in his area. And I have been keeping my eyes open, but I haven't, without going, you know, on my way to go and find one, no such luck. And I would like to get one more myself, mainly because I've got that's Jodie Whittaker TARDIS you saw in that video. That one is the one I got very recently. That one doesn't work properly. It's actually missing parts and it needs to be repaired. So basically, I would like to get one basically just use to repair that one as a repair job. So yeah. Although I imagine, hopefully by the end of next week, you know, everything will be sorted. Or if by the end of this week, hopefully. But yeah, there seemed to be that initial spike of them popping up in stores, and now it's kind of flatlined. Although I do know B&M are kind of backed up at the minute. Most of them are backed up because they've got a load of stock from stuff, you know, coming in. I mean, the Doctor Who stuff is technically part of their Christmas range. Technically. And the reason I say technically is because obviously it's normally sold out by Christmas anyway. And obviously not last year's, because depending on where you lived last year, it was either it either just came out in December, just before Christmas, or it didn't come out until after Christmas. Yeah, still surprised the old sets haven't gone down in price. I'm hoping when they update the website, on Character's website, when they update it, not Character's website, B&M's website, when they update it to add the new sets on there, that they reduce the price of the old ones, because I would like to get more of those 3-packs, actually. I only, just for the Cyberman, because I got the two variants. I got the regular Cyberman and the Cyber Leader, but yeah, no one could do with that. Now, in terms of what we got coming, and that at some point, the rumour is late September, early October, which sounds about right. I'm gonna get, I don't know. It depends whether they slip in an online exclusive in between then or not. Because we're meant to have got 4 this year. We've had 2 and that. So I don't know, to be honest, what will slip in between the 2 of them and that. And then obviously, Season 2, 2025, I should mention, got released on Monday. Yes, I think it did. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to that. And to be honest, I don't think I'll pick that up. Because there's very little reason to pick that up, because this time around, I don't think it has any exclusive content to it whatsoever. This time around, like literally, the previous Season 1, I got that, and it has 2 exclusive special features, and they're the 2 weakest ones on there. For Season 2, I don't think there's anything. I don't think so. I don't know. Even if I was to get it, and I don't know if I will, I'd definitely wait on a price drop, because I do have 4K downloads of them. If it was released on 4K Blu-ray, that might have convinced me to get it. But if I'm gonna watch, any of Gatwa's era, then I'm gonna watch, the 4K versions with HDR. Sorry, I'd rather watch it, in the best quality possible. So yeah. And then obviously we still don't have a confirmed release date for season 13. I'm very worried about that set. From the trailer, at least, I'll wait and see until I get it. But from the trailer, God, it looks like the AI is just being cranked up to maximum. Like, seriously, stop using AI on them. And I've seen some people going, "Oh, it looks bad." It's not real, though. It's not real. Like, basically, what you're watching there, is not restored. It's not restored. It's just AI over the top of it. Because there's a difference between upscaling something and an AI upscale. An AI upscale is where basically you're replacing basically the visual with AI. Essentially, that's what it's doing. It's adding something that isn't there. Upscaling is where you're taking something that exists and, basically upscaling it, trying to upscale the resolution and the quality of it to more modern displays and that. Yes, there is a bit of processing in the middle, but you're not trying to add stuff that isn't there. But AI, is. And that. And, does AI have a place in the world? I'm not going to say that, we should get rid of everything AI in the world. Because the thing is, AI has existed for years and years. It's not a new phenomena. The only thing that's new about it is how smart it's been getting. I mean, for example, if you've got an Amazon Echo device of any kind, or any type of smart device, that uses AI. That uses AI, but it was obviously before, AI became the biggest buzzword in the world. I mean, I remember yesterday, on YouTube, I was forced to watch a 30-second Google advert that was just talking about AI, nothing else, just AI. Yeah, and oh god, that was absolutely torture. But yeah, I'll see. See how it looks. I mean, special feature wise, definitely worth it in excuse me, special features. But in terms of the stories themselves, that one, depending on how it looks, I might actually go back to the DVD masters. And if I do in those cases, I'm gonna re-rip the DVDs for those. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see with those. I don't know if any film footage actually exists for season 13. I'm not sure. I think maybe a few model shot film sequences exist. But in terms of actual film, I don't think so. Because I'm pretty sure Terror of the Zygons only exists as a video. Well, I think Terror of the Zygons was for the longest time a black and white master that existed of it. And then I think a color copy may exist now, where they've like merged the chroma from the color version with the higher quality black and white. Possibly, I'm not sure, but I do know at one point in time it was only a black and white copy, and that at least I think of part one, and that I know to this day it does have a couple of bits of deleted scenes which do only exist in black and white. They'll be interesting to see if they do the chroma dot method for them. Actually, that would be interesting. I doubt they will, but for the because there's a couple of deleted scenes from Terror of the Zygons and that of the TARDIS landing and them getting out. Be interesting, if they did do a color recovery for that. Though again, the chroma dots would have to exist. And two, is there a budget there for that? Because some of the budgets on these box sets are stretched quite thin. Because the thing is, they kind of have basically a similar budget across all of the box sets. The problem is with the box sets, if you've got, season 23 through 26, you've only got 14 episodes there. You can afford to go all out on restoration, special editions, on all the stories and everything. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, when they did season 2, they couldn't afford to do they could only afford to do restoration on 2 of the stories. Excuse me, which were Dalek Invasion of Earth and the Time Meddler. Now, if you were going to do it on any of those stories, those two make the most sense because those are the 2 oldest releases on there. Dalek Invasion of Earth never had a special edition release, so that one was all rescanned. And Dalek Invasion of Earth, the Blu-ray does look significantly better. Same with the Time Meddler on the Blu-ray versions. They do look significantly better than the DVDs. But again, like they didn't even do behind the sofas for every story on that one. That's the only one where they didn't do behind the sofas for every story. Now, stuff like The Crusade, I can understand why, since half of it is missing. But Planet of Giants, no, they didn't do one for Planet of Giants. Yeah, so interesting that they didn't do it with that one. I don't know why. Really, because the cast, the people who they get in, like Janet Fielding, everyone else who are watching the stories, they're watching edited, cut down versions to cut, so they can basically watch, an entire season's worth in a day, essentially. So they are watching cut down versions. How heavily cut down, I don't know, but sometimes it kind of makes sense when they can't really follow the story because of maybe it is how severely it is cut down. I don't know how far they cut them down to, and that I think also depends on various things. Like I imagine, for example, with McCoy's era, that one probably has the least amount of cuts on the version they're watching because obviously less episodes and less stuff to watch. So maybe they do it that way. Who knows? And that would be fascinating to know. But we do know they are cut down. We do know they are cut down. Because several of like Janet Fielding's confirmed that they've cut them down, and Peter Purvis went in fact, it's actually on his one when they were watching season 2. He said, "Oh yeah, there's a scene here, but they've cut it out here." So we know that they are not watching the full uncut versions and that of the story and that. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I think that'll be the last box set of this year, and that if they do another one coming out this year, which will either be season 11 or season 21, will be the next one of the two. They've been working on season 11 for ages now. But yeah, I don't know. It may get announced this year, but I doubt it'll come out this year. We'll see. We'll see how it comes. And that something I didn't talk about with the TARDIS set, again with the B&M one, was the packaging. Well, in fact, you know what? I'll get it down. I'll get it down because I've shoved it up there. Oop. Camera, stay where you are. There we go. I'm just using my phone for this live stream, but if I come in, if I get a box, there we go. What was that I just knocked over? So, what I do like is we've got windows again. Yeah, so this is back to a window box, which was surprising actually. That we had a window. We've gone back to window boxes, which I do like. Obviously, we've still got the blister design on the Daleks, fortunately. What's weird about this is the outer cardboard is very, very flimsy on this one. The outer cardboard is very, very flimsy on this. So, yeah, which is weird because the Dalek sets are still made of that really thick cardboard. Pardon me. But this one is made of the much flimsier kind of cardboard. So, yeah, not sure why. Also, I haven't seen a single one of these where the stickers are all perfect. They're either misaligned or they've got bits peeling up or bubbled and that. Because, yeah, I don't know why he went for stickers again with this one, because this is the only, you know, classic series box, even though it is obviously a new series box, but it's the classic series, you know, mold and everything that has stickers on. All of the others are printed and that. So yeah, I don't know why do it just for that one. It's a bit odd. They would, you know, because that would be something, you know, that you could fix and that for that one, because when they're printed, generally they're perfectly fine and that, and you know, can all be lined up. So yeah, but with stickers, with them, there's like not a single one I've found that's you know, all of them seem either misaligned or they're peeling up in places and that, because they've got to be basically dead on center, and the stickers, I believe, on those TARDISes are placed on by hand. So yeah, a bit of a shame. Yeah, also, as I said, the previous TARDIS that was released at B&M that was electronic, well, the only other one, this one has 4 sound effects. This one has a long takeoff and a long landing, and shorter versions of both, depending on how quickly you lift it up or put it back down. So I don't get why on this one we've gone back to the older sound chip where it's only got 2 sound effects. Why have we gone back? I don't get why. It's really odd that we've gone back with that one. So yeah. I don't know whether to go to one of the old B&M TARDIS releases from years back and actually put the electronics in there, because the problem is, depending on what one it is, because the older B&M TARDISes, some of them are glued together, some of them have glue on there, some of them have very little glue. It kind of depends from what I've heard from people who have disassembled them. But I'm worried that I damaged them actually taking them apart. And that I've actually lost the door spring well, not the door spring, but the door locking mechanism for the Jodie Whittaker TARDIS I was trying to repair. I was trying to put the base back on, and basically the door spring went flying out as I was trying to put the base back on. I have no idea where the hell it's gone. I literally had a look for it. It's literally that big. It's a teeny tiny little locking mechanism for the door. Now, thankfully, it's not the most vital thing because the door can still open. It just doesn't lock in place when you do open it. But yeah, it's been an absolute pain in the ass, those doors. And the button and that's from a future video coming out, actually, because from a toy fair I went to. Again, I went to the Northern Fairs toy fair again last month, I think it was, and filmed it, but that's for a future video and that coming out. I do have several videos. One I still need to record, even though I've had it a while. I've had this a while now, and I still haven't recorded a review for it. Something I also have, and I've had this a while now, which I haven't done a review on. I've had this, I think, for about 2 or 3 months now, maybe, is this. Just a singular one. This is the Vortex Edition 15th Doctor figure, which I got for £17 on eBay. So yeah, this was £17, including the postage. So basically, I paid essentially the same for this one as I did the retail version. And the main reason I got this was actually for the psychic paper accessory. Because actually, I think I prefer the retail version of his costume more, but I'm not that bothered about having either of them. But yeah, I finally do have that one. So I saw that going on eBay, and I thought, £17, including the postage and that. Yeah, why not? And that just to get that psychic paper accessory. So yeah, maybe I might review it in the future. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Let me know if you're actually interested in me reviewing it. Because to be honest, I took the figure out just to have a look at it, and then I put it back in the box. And it's just kind of sat in the box that entire time. So, yeah. What time is it? 7:15. Let's take a look at the comments, actually. We'll start in reverse order because that's excellent. Hello, not a cool guy 1234. The Snowflake says, I got the City of Death set signature version. Don't know if I should open it, as the properties could use a bit. If you've got the signature version, I wouldn't open it. If you've got the signature version of City of Death set or Destiny of the Dalek set, don't open them. Seriously, don't open them. One, it'll ruin their value, and two, you basically just take up. If the Trust guys were there, you will just be taking them off and putting them back in anyway. I think it's one of those things. Just leave it in the box as is. Just leave it in as is. As long as you're not shaking it around, the paint shouldn't rub. It should be all right. Hopefully. Do you know what History of the Daleks 20 will entail? Well, I don't know for certain, but what a lot of people have been saying, and I do believe this, and also what that other YouTuber said it was going to be and did Photoshop pictures of it, was remembrance of the Dalek set with an Imperial Dalek and special weapons. And that could very well be the case. And that, because obviously, it's the last obvious one to go from the classic era, basically. So doing that one makes the most amount of sense. So I do, though then again, Alderaan doesn't make sense. Like, he went all the way to the Jodie Whittaker era. He completely skipped out on the paradigms, which, yeah, and series 4 on that. I'm trying to open a bottle of water one handed here. I did it. So yeah, will it be that? Well, hopefully. I mean, basically special weapons Dalek. What I want from that thing is basically take the top section from the FX version, the FX release, the one with sound effects, and then take the bottom section, or is it the other way around? Well, basically, I know, if I remember, one of them had a better MIG section, and the other one had a bad bag section, bottom section. So if you took the best of both out of the original release and the FX release, combined them, you'd then have the best Special Weapons Dalek release. In terms of the Imperial, have those slacks be smooth again. And finally get the bloody colour of the eye correct. Like, you went from having it blue for the longest time, including the pupil, for whatever strange reason. And then you had it be black for some reason in the Cohill School set. So, you know, either do it, because obviously they are chrome, the eyes. So either do the eyes, you know, that shiny silver that Alduar loves to use, or even white, you know, if the budget won't stretch that far, you know, either white, preferably silver. Like, if you did them silver, yeah, fine. So yeah, but just try and get it somewhat near to it, and then there we go. I'd be happy enough with that. That'd be the ultimate Imperial, and I'd buy more of them. I would buy more of them if that was the case. Because if it is a fucked up variant of the Imperial Dalek, I probably will not buy as many. Especially if it's, you know, just a reissue of the previous version that was released at B&M. I did get a fair few of that. I'll probably buy 3 initially, and then maybe if they went on sale for like half the price or something, maybe then I would get more. Like, for example, these Daleks, I will not be getting any more of these. I've got 3 sets of these, and to be honest, unless I see them half price, then generally I won't get any more of them. Just because I'm not the biggest fan of them. That colour scheme, and that, while it is accurate, as I said, while it is accurate to Power the Doctor Daleks, it isn't accurate to how they appear in Revolution of the Daleks. Eve of the Daleks, there we go. It's not accurate to the colour scheme from that story. But yeah, in terms of Revenge of the Cybermen set, I will probably pick up a few of them. I do have the original set, but I've only got one of those. So it would be nice to get, you know, a few army builds of them. I mean, I've heard it's just going to be the exact same set again as the original release, which would be fantastic. If it is, that would be the best thing ever, because it'll be a nice little army build. Though I am worried about what Alduar is going to do with the set, because he said he's going to, you know, repaint, you know, do the paint differently. Ugh. Because the paint was perfectly fine beforehand, Alduar. The paint was perfectly fine. So, yeah, we'll see when Alduar decides to do different colour variants or improve the colour, because I can show you a prime example right next to me. So, here we have a Chase Dalek from the Chase. This is the B&M release. This is a power one. And that, now this one is obviously being repainted, and that's by me. The MIG section there is being completely repainted by me. But he's done the eye in a much lighter blue. Now, some of them were lighter, though not quite that light. But yeah, the silver he's done them. Why is there black section on that dome? There we go. The silver he's kind of done them is way too shiny. Like, more of a almost chrome type silver retype. The more duller type silver are these ones. Is actually more accurate. If you did that more, if you did this one actually in the more sort of shinier type finish that you've done this one in, it would probably be the most accurate. By the way, that was just an example I just had that happened to be right next to me. But that was just a small example. That one, least offense out of them. Stuff like, well, maybe not the MIG section, not the MIG section. In fact, I've got one unpainted actually over here. This one here. Look at those MIG sections. Oh god, look at those MIG sections. Yeah. And obviously, look at the infamous example. Look at the Renegade Dalek. What the hell was he thinking with the colour of that thing? Yeah, just completely off with that one. So, yeah. Ooh, should go back to the top actually. Predo S2000 said they need to reduce the price of last year's set. Yeah, stop me discount. Yeah, I think it's because they probably sold just enough to where B&M weren't desperate to get rid of them off the shelves. Because normally what happens is when they reduce the price, B&M wants them off the shelves now. But if they've sold just enough where, you know, they don't need, if they don't need to take them off the shelves, if they don't need the shelf space, because normally B&M, you know, want the shelf space, but you know, shelf space is premium. So I think last year's sets probably sold just well enough to where there was still, you know, quite a few of them available, but not to the case where they were worried about shelf space. So they just kind of left them at that price and that. But yeah, surprisingly, they still haven't reduced them. But as I said, hopefully when B&M updates their website and adds the new sets on there, because at the moment it's still the old sets on there, then hopefully they'll reduce the price of them. I mean, when I went to buy my new sets and that, and I know everyone else would have experienced this who got the sets during that first week, they hadn't gone into B&M system at the till, so you had to wait for a staff member to go get a barcode for them and that in order to buy them. So yeah, they have appeared down south, Mark Morris, because they have appeared in some stores down south, but not as many as obviously up north. The north seems to be, you know, obviously where they appeared first, which is odd because for the past few, way back when, they always appeared up north first, which makes sense. B&M's headquarters is in Liverpool, so it obviously makes sense that they appeared up north first, and there's obviously more B&M's up north. But for the past few years, they've always appeared down south first and then climbed their way up north. So yeah, finally this time around they appeared up north first, and so did the last lot of sets as well. So yeah, am I suggesting people come up to the north and that to go and get B&M sets? No, wait until they come down to wherever you are, and that because by the time you come up here, they're either, you know, one, they may not be there at all, two, they may be sold out or whatever. And number three, by the time, you know, you make your way up here, they may have come in a store down near where you are. It's better to just keep checking the stores in your area and that. And I say stores, you know, because most people, depending on obviously where you live, but most people will have multiple B&Ms where they live. I know I'm very lucky when it comes to that because I've got, was it like 12 B&Ms? That are like local to me. Not all of them get the sets, though. Not all of them get them. But most of them generally do. It's generally the smaller ones that don't get them, at least in my area. But yeah. Which was Cyber FM says, which was your favourite Chuckle Brother? I don't know, because they can't really work on their own. And that, because they are a double act. I think it was. I think Barry had the slight edge. The slightest edge. Yeah. Original Simons. I checked. The original Simon set was 24.99. The original version of Revenge of the Cybermen set, the original price wasn't £25. The original price was £30 when that originally came out. I think mine still got the sticker on it, actually. I can't remember. I can't remember if it has the sticker on or whether that's the one I saw in the store. I don't know. But I've still got it. And that to this day. It's thicker dust. It's been in Xbox for eons. In fact, it hasn't been out of Xbox probably at least a decade, actually. So it's been sitting there. Stop focusing. I'm trying to scroll down the thing and it's thinking I'm trying to focus. Stop doing that. Yeah, but being M6, there's still like 0 new tooling or molds on the direct re-releases. Well, sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. Agree, but the exact same thing over 10 years, I think. $24.99 for release, to be fair. Yeah, but the thing is, Revenge of the Cyberman set, if it's £25 and it's the exact same set and it comes with the Cybermat, fair enough. If it doesn't come with the Cybermat, I'd be like, what's happening there? Because obviously last year's 3-pack was $21.99, the same as they always are. And you've got Dalek sets, they're £22. And the reason these are is because obviously Daleks, they cost more money to make. And that's why you only get 2 Daleks for that amount of money, not 3. So, but if it comes with a Cybermat accessory for that, you know, then okay, fair enough. I had someone the other day saying, oh, it's because Aldois is repainting them a different colour and doing the repaints for them. No, that doesn't cost any more to do. Unless he's, doing the electroplating method, which he won't be for Revenge, at least I bloody hope not, then it won't, the paint will not cost any more money than previously. Yeah, so yeah, the OG Silver Nemesis set from Forbidden Planet was £25. Yep, it was. I've got that. But then got a re-release with the 7th Doctor for £20. So 25 Quasarian Wars does take the piss. Again, if it comes with a Cybermat, for that extra bit of money, I would say fine. Fair enough for that price. Because it is a larger access. If it was like the Tomb Cybermax, I'd be like, But since the Cybermat from Revenge is a large one, and that, if it comes with that for the money, I'll give it a pass. I will give it a pass. Right. Do you have the character options? Do you reckon character options will do the Rani Sonic Screwdriver? Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Because the problem with it is that the reason we got stuff like character recently put a lot of money into new series stuff is because they thought that Doctor Who was going to take off again. It was going to be a big brand, That's why they put so much money into like 14th Doctor Sonic Screwdrivers, 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdrivers, these figures and that, trying to get them on store shelves and that again. But obviously we all know that didn't happen, and the franchise is now, in a limbo state. And that and is, pretty much cancelled. And that until, inevitably at some point in the future it's brought back. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say they probably had it on the cards at some point. I would say that, but it being a high priority for them, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And that, who knows? Oh, History of the people have been talking about saying to Aldoar, oh, you should do History of the Cybermen sets for years. And the reason Aldoar is always given is like, oh, can't do that because we don't have all the Cybermen and that released in the ring, so we can't do that. The thing is, you have most of them. you have most of them released. Like the Wheeling Space Cyberman, there was a prototype for that made. So if you do get that thing released, then you could do basically all of the classic series Cybermen, like in terms of the standard ones. We still haven't had a Cyber controller from Attack of the Cybermen. That's a nice, easy one to do. But yeah, the thing is also there's not as many you could do, really. And that, like Daleks, ton of variants, and that, ton of different colours over the years. Cybermen, a lot less stories. And that, and you can only go all the way up into, the Max Smith era, really, with the Corrodic Cybermen. So maybe that's the reason why, or maybe, fuck it, who knows. The Snowflake says, I have the Vespa form. Excellent, you're lucky. But the wings are slightly yellowed. So come, the Vespa form did come out in very late 2008. That's just the thing with clear plastic. A lot of the time, it does yellow over time, and that you can try retro brighting it. With you can get this. There we go, which is hydrogen peroxide. This is available at Boots here in the UK. It was only a couple of quid. But if plastic is yellowed, then that hopefully should restore it. I don't know how well it would work on clear plastic though. Might not work on there, but that is an option. Who did it better, CO or PE? Now, in terms of accuracy, I'd say CO has had more accurate ones. However, in terms of consistency, PE has had better consistency, and that with things. However, PE's Daleks, their radio control ones at least are, a lot of them are unreliable, particularly the early ones. So there's that. But again, PE are the only ones who ever did the movie Daleks. And Aldebar did try to get the license, I think around 2019, 2020, tried to get the license for the movie Daleks, though I don't know, like, he didn't in the end, though I don't know how hard he fought for it. I don't know if it was a case of they just said no to him, or whether it was a case of they asked for too much money. I don't know. We didn't really try hard, and there was also several other loopholes he could exploit. Like, he did the chase guard, but there was various other ways he could do movie Daleks, or almost movie Daleks. Like, because they had the license to the comics. And, and also Big Finish, where just like you could get almost movie Daleks there, but yeah. Also, that they've got Big Finish license. Like Aldo was talking about, oh, not many more variants of Daleks and that too. You've got Big Finish. Tons of variants to do there. And obviously, if you've got ones that are not on screen, you can do what you did with the blue and silver one and just make it up if it's not on screen. Hello, Flyland. I think that's it. But yeah. Also, actually, from 2019, for everyone telling me that the Dalek included with the War Doctor figure was actually silver and that, and it was just the lighting, and it wasn't actually blue, even though it clearly fucking was. The same Dalek appears on a War Master box set that's coming out in December, I think, and it is clearly, again, blue, not silver, because the lighting and that is completely different. So, yeah. But again, Aldebar doesn't know how lighting works, does he? For Imperials, just need to give them the same colours as the 2023 Necros Daleks. Yeah, well, the thing is, the colours of the Imperials generally hasn't been a problem. Generally, they've got them the ivory right. The Necros ones that were released at B&M were actually done in the incorrect ivory white. They should have been like a more proper white rather than an ivory one. But yeah. Basically, if he fixes the eye and gives us the smooth slacks, there we go. Done. Call it a day. Happy. I have a theory that the idea it's going to be the same as the popular assumption that people are talking to us. What? That's what we're talking about there. Might be wrong, but could see B&M doing Cyberman, Cyber Leader, Fourth Doctor. I doubt it because everyone's saying it'll be the same. People have also apparently spoken to Aldoai. He said it's going to be the same, so. The next rumored character online exclusive is Jodie and the Frog on the chair. Well, if that's the case, if it's Jodie Whittaker with the frog on the fucking chair, I'm not buying that set. I am not buying that set, especially if it's 45 fucking quid for a Jodie Whittaker figure, which will probably be just a re-release. And that, because, what do you do with that figure otherwise? Maybe put a paint ups on the hair or something from the original one. And then a frog on a chair. Wow. What a figure. Thoughts on Planet of the Spiders? I really liked Planet of the Spiders, actually. Really good. I think it's a really good send-off for John Pertwee and that. It does have its mishaps in there. I mean, the chase, I do enjoy the chase in episode 2, even though it is a bit pointless and that, but I do enjoy that. So I don't think it's the best of season 11. I'd say the Time Warrior is. Harris said, I want to say my condolences to your hard drive that passed away. Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't lose anything vital on it, but yeah. Is it repairable? Probably. But I'm not paying, hundreds, possibly thousands pounds to get a hard drive fixed where there's nothing vital on there. If there was something vital on there, because it was 5 terabytes, then I might have considered paying it, but otherwise, nah. If anyone has another 5 terabyte hard drive that doesn't work and they'd like to send us it as a donor drive to maybe have me have a go at fixing it, because it could go horribly wrong, although I couldn't make it any worse. Quite frankly, it doesn't work, so I can't make it worse. Anyway. No. Next character exclusive should be Duggo. No accessories, not necessary. £50 worth every pet. Oh, the Dagadoo. Ah, yes. £50 for that? No. Even though I would like that cut. It'd be funny. No, I mean if we can get fucking Beep the Meep and that with a 14th Doctor for 45, which even then that set is overpriced for what that is. I think personally, I think that set should have been 40, if not 35, because that 14th Doctor figure didn't really use any new parts really. And that, I mean, you could make the argument of unreleased parts, but because there was a prototype of it made previously. But yeah, it should have come with a coat. It should have come with the long arms, and that. And the thing is, I've seen so many people go on the fact of, oh, Alduar gives us these 3D printable options and that for free. You say, and that is not included in the price of the set. Not everyone has a 3D printer. I don't have a 3D printer. Could I get it 3D printed off somewhere? Probably. I'm not going to. I don't want to. I don't want to have to paint it and that all myself and that. 'Cause, like, there you're doing basically you're doing a lot of the hard work yourself in terms of assembly and making it. So yeah, I want like some people are factoring those into the price of the online exclusives. The fact that sometimes Alduar gives out basically models and that to 3D print. That is not associated with character. That is just something he does in his spare time. It's not the same thing. Dugadoo and Beep the Meat plush would actually work really nicely. Now, there is a Beep the Meat plush prototype. However, I think Aldewan mentioned in a podcast, if that was to get a release, it would have to be £50. And fuck no. £50 for a Beep the Meat plush. Where the hell are you getting your plushes made? Because there is no way on this earth that is worth 50 fucking quid. I mean, even premium plushes, even the premium ones, are not that expensive. That the more premium ones are like 30, maybe 40 at a very push. I mean, God, that's more expensive than fucking Build-A-Bear. And that. I actually got my mum yesterday, actually, a Build-A-Bear Snoopy that she wanted for Christmas, actually, from there. And that was £38. And that, without any accessories or anything. But still, anyway. No, Jesus, nah, £50 is way too steep. Would it be a life size that price? Yeah. I mean, basically, if a Beat the Meat plush came out and it was a high quality plush and it was £30, if it talked for that price, if it had like a sound chip in there and it said some phrases or something, or if it could, do the evil face, like, have a bit of animatronic movement in there, and it was £30, maybe, maybe £40. If it did, actually, I would accept at £15 if it was not just a plush toy. If it had movement, if its mouth could move, and that, and its eyes, and teeth come out, and it could talk and everything, for £50, that would be fine. I'd accept that for £50 there, because you see, for example, there's a dancing Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. That's, I think, is £40 or something like that. Actually, no, I think he's 30. Actually, I think he's £30 actually. And that you can see, because okay, you can see where the money's went there. But for a basic plush toy, 50 quid. Just like, either you're getting, the worst deal at your factories, or you're just pulling these numbers out of your arse, Alduar. Because remember, Alduar does lie about almost everything. And that a lot of the time. And the thing is, I'm really concerned about the kind of people Alduar associates with, in terms of giving him ideas, in terms of the wrong ideas, because the people he goes on podcasts with seem to come up with the worst possible ideas you could ever think of, because they were saying, oh, with the Beep the Meep, you should have done it as a blind, you should have done it as a random which head you got on there. No, people don't like that. Even Al-Duar said he pissed people enough off with the maggot in the third Doctor Sex, so that's why he gave us both heads. Yeah, don't do that. People do not like blind boxes. And that. Especially when you're paying just shy of 50 fucking quid, £45. No, that's not like a blind box or a blind bag. They're meant to be cheap. There's a reason that they're cheap, so you buy more. It's basically a way to get you into gambling, essentially. But it is essentially a form of gambling, that. But yeah, no, don't do that. If the next one, online exclusive, is a Jodie Whittaker one, or to be honest, even a Shooty Gatwa one, then I will probably be skipping that, to be honest. Because to be honest, especially these days, I am being a lot more selective with the stuff I buy than what I used to be, and I'm not buying as much as I once used to. One is obviously prices and everything, and the other thing is space as well. I don't have that much space on that, so yeah. I'm gonna switch to this arm now because that arm is getting tired. But yeah, if that is it for questions, and I believe it is, I'm gonna leave it for this live stream. It's been a long time since I've done one. When will the next one be, if anyone's wondering? And the reason I haven't done one in a while is simply because I haven't had really much to go about. Go and then quickly ask the question. The reason I haven't done one in a while is just because when I've either been busy or two, I haven't really had much to talk about. But yeah, the next one will be either after the next lot of B&M sets come out, and I'll do like a roundup of all of them throughout this year, or depending on whether it comes out beforehand, season 13, I'll probably do a live stream talking about that. Ian Levine is not fuming at me. Ian Levine doesn't really know. Like, I know he knows I exist now, though he probably has forgotten. The only reason I know he knows I exist is because someone directly asked him what he thought about me, and Ian Levine said, "Who's that?" And they sent him, I think, my videos of just said, "There's this person." Though I imagine Ian Levine no, he probably has forgotten. Yeah, but Ian Levine's, busy off basically scamming people essentially for those AI recons and that. Because it is. Because there's no way on earth they cost as much as what Ian Levine is saying they cost. I'm not saying there's zero cost involved, but when AI is doing, the work and that, 99% of the work for you, where's that money going, Ian? Where's that money going? I wonder where that money's going, Ian. And also, Ian, I wonder, if you're one of the ones who has a copy of any of those 5 missing episodes we know exist. I wouldn't be surprised. Because we do know 5 missing episodes do exist, and that obviously, the people who have them are not willing to give them back. In fact, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them said that basically when they die, they're going to have the episode destroyed. And I think, what a selfish bastard. Like, fair enough when you're alive, and then you don't want to give it to the BBC and that, but to have it destroyed, because, like, come on. Come on. Ian Levine said he's going to give me. Sorry. He's going to give Six Sec a hiding when he sees him. A hiding? What? And very, very angry he said about him, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but Ian Levine threatens everyone. He's going to get his goons on you. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not frightened of Ian Levine in the slightest. I mean, for God's sake, even if I did meet Ian Levine in the street, he's not going to do anything to me. And if he did somehow, fling his arms at me and try to, punch us or hit us or anything, which he's not going to do. But even if he did, very simple way. You just step 2 feet back and he cannot reach you. Yeah, there you go. Ian's wheeling and dealing missing episodes. Well, Ian Levine has been wheeling and dealing missing episodes since definitely since the 80s, possibly the 70s. Yeah. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this live stream and that. I've got to go take my dog out now. So yeah, see you next time whenever it is. Bye bye.